What's good, y'all? It's good to be back. Hope you guys are doing well. It's today, Monday, September 9th, 2024. I started the show saying that it was airing or something for the X live stream, so I had to just kind of figure that out. Looks like it's good, though, so shout out to everyone in the live stream. What's up, everyone in the spaces? Greek, Postmaster, I saw Huddle Always Wins. A few others here as well. What's up, you guys? What's up, everyone in the live stream as well? Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section in the live chat if you're here tuning in today. Looks like the Hedera TPS is ranging around 2700. Right now, it looks like it dropped a little bit to 2K transactions per second. You love to see it. I think this is a really great way to start the show, just kind of show off the Hedera network as well. Friendly reminder, today's show is sponsored by @Gilmore_Estates and the GC token, tokenizing real estate here on Hedera. Shout out to them, everything that they're doing here in the ecosystem as well, and for sponsoring our show here today, every Monday and Wednesdays for the past few months. So shout out to them. The token ID is 0.03241481. So go check out what they're doing. Again, they're tokenizing real estate on Hedera, and you love to see RWAs on Hedera, and they've been a mass supporter of many people in the ecosystem as well. So that's a shout out to them. All right, you guys, we're going to get into some daily news per usual, and then, of course, some technical analysis. So, yeah, we haven't covered technical analysis in a few days. I think it's been, I don't know, since when was our last show? Thursday, I think it was last week. So, very much looking forward to covering that with you. Friendly reminder, we are live streaming currently, and this just kind of I'll cover a little bit why as to the why there's a technical analysis, but I'm thinking of changing some stuff with the show. So Mondays and Wednesdays for sure we will have shows moving forward. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays is going to be up in the air for now until I see a shift in the market, shift in maybe until we see the cross up, right? I'm still expecting potentially if we don't have the cross up this month or next month, it's going to be, like I said, next summer, which next summer will be another 9 months. We've been doing this for about a year for free, apart from our sponsorships. Again, shout out to our sponsorships. But a year and 9 months, 9 months is a long time from now to keep doing it Monday through Friday. So it would be a little tough at the current rate. So again, we're going to switch a little bit to Monday and Wednesday mainly for sure. And then we'll go from there. Then Wednesdays, I want to switch some things up. I have some plans for that. More details to come very soon. It's not ready to share yet, but I'll start inviting some speakers. One of my favorite reasons why to do shows in general is to get to know the retail community. And at least when we were only doing spaces and when price action was a lot better than it is now, a lot more people were engaged and chatting and wanting to discuss what's being built, what's going on. So definitely our main focus moving forward will be a lot more getting to know a lot of the creators, the interviews. We still get a ton of engagement on all of our interviews. So again, shout out to everyone that's been interviewed, that's been asking to get interviewed. We'll definitely get to you. I just want to be able to set it up in a meaningful way. So maybe we'll start switching some of the interviews maybe during a Monday section, or maybe we'll just keep it on Thursdays, but it'll have to be when I choose to do it, of course. But as always, right, I don't get paid to do any of the interviews. I do them so I can help support all the builders. I think we've done a couple dozen interviews at this point. So I'm very much looking forward to our next one. We have a bunch of them lined up. So I'll keep you guys updated, especially in the alpha chat. Shout out to everyone in the alpha chat as well. I'll keep you guys updated on who's next as well. And of course, if you guys are in my DMs, waiting on the interviews as well, all I ask you just to be patient. I also don't want to do certain interviews on certain days or certain weeks because I want you guys to get as much exposure as possible. And I just know that when the market tanks, I know a lot of people just kind of tune out for a bit, and I don't want that to affect anyone's interview ever. So I do want to make sure that you guys get as much exposure as possible. So there's that. And of course, the Hedera TPS is looking strong. Stronger than ever, and I do believe we're just getting started. Postmaster, what's good, brother? If anyone wants to come up in the live stream, either share the screen or just come up and chat with us, feel free to shoot me a DM. Let me actually share the link. Give me 1 second here. I'll be right back. I'm going to share the link in the live on the live stream in our alpha chat. So if you guys are in the alpha chat, live, you guys will be able to come up as a speaker in the live stream. Then, of course, if you're in the spaces, feel free to hit that button on the bottom left to request to come up and chat with us. Postmaster, what's good, brother? How you doing?
Doing great, brother. Thanks for having me up. Guys, make sure you guys are hitting that like, share, retweet, bookmark, comment below, get those algorithms going for our man IPAC series, working hard every day to bring you guys the alpha, his analysis on the market, and much, much more. So let's give this guy some support. Yeah, everything's going good, man. Just doing a little bit of a recovery day. Going to do a light workout probably before bed, and just sharing out our NFTs, trying to put together a good marketing strategy here for the next week.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, I have some of your guys' notifications on in the Discord as well. And yeah, you guys have been going to town, jumping in spaces, creating posts, content stuff. You guys have been killing it. We'll definitely cover it on today's show as well. So you're more than welcome to touch on it if you want to elaborate a bit more as well. I know you were on the H-Bar Bull show this weekend as well, right?
Yeah, that was awesome, man. It's almost a surreal moment. Been watching him for since the beginning, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got interviewed by the H-Bar Bull, so make sure you guys check out his most recent show on YouTube.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought you did a great job, Dr. Stickbug as well. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are sleeping on what's going on over there, well, make sure to shoot Postmaster a follow. Go check out what he's doing, and if you guys are interested in digital art collectibles, interested in karate combat and everything that they're doing, especially with dynamic NFTs, hashtags, all that kind of stuff, definitely go check it out. I really enjoy what I've seen from you guys, and you guys are definitely putting in a lot of work, and I think it's very creative as well. So. And then it benefits the fighters. I think that's one of the best aspects of what you guys are doing, what you're setting out to do. Of course, you guys get a nice cut, but you're also putting in a ton of work to do that. And as I keep saying, karate combat's definitely one of the, if not the best use case currently live on Hedera in terms of exposure and marketing for our ecosystem, and to be able to push that forward in a pioneering way like this with some NFTs. I think you guys are doing an amazing job, and I only wish the best for you guys on your upcoming mint.
Thank you so much. What we're going to do here today for you is we'll do a giveaway. One of the Stickbug flagship NFTs. We'll do the diamond Stickbug, the diamond holder Stickbug. That is going to actually give you a whitelist access early for one mint of our new NFTs, and it will also give you a 10% discount as well. So not only do you get in early, you get a little bit cheaper. So we'll give that away on your show today. You can do it however you want to do it, Ipex.
Awesome.
Just let me know who wins, and we'll set that up. It is going to cost one H-bar because the Stickbug flagship has a royalty, and you got to do a trade for it. So yeah, it does have a one H-bar fee, just like, you know.
Awesome. Yeah, no, you're totally good on that. And yeah, no, I appreciate the giveaway. I wasn't expecting that. And special shout out to everyone that's made it this far. Episode 250. I haven't even talked about that yet today. Yeah, we're coming up on a year at this point. We're about a week away. So we're how many weeks in a year? 52. This is week 51 of our show. So we've been digging in, but yeah, as with all things, you got to be realistic and level-headed, but super patient. So we're going to cover technical analysis. I actually haven't been looking at the charts too much over the weekend. Really, I've just kind of told myself I'm not going to really take it too seriously or really look too much into the charts until we actually get a trend reversal, because, I mean, I'm not going to be like stressing myself or getting upset over price action. I understand. I'm trying my best to understand, with you all, and walk you guys through just kind of what I'm seeing in the market. And until we see a shift, it's just going to be a lot of the same, unfortunately, outside of the amazing builders here in the ecosystem, really just pioneering, pushing the space forward, like Postmaster as well. Postmaster, I appreciate the giveaway. All you got to do to enter today is just like and retweet the stream here today on the live stream, the spaces, either one is fine. I appreciate everyone liking, retweeting, supporting us, what we're doing here, continuing to show up. We're doing everything that we can to continue to support the builders, the creators, the platforms here on Hedera. I know it's slow. I know things are not that exciting, but it's pretty awesome to see creators and builders and platforms continue to show up, continue to support the ecosystem, even when we do need certain things to shift and change, and we continue to talk about them until that happens. So, Postmaster, I appreciate the giveaway, brother.
My pleasure, brother. My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me up again today. And yeah, I really look forward to hopefully you can make it out to Utah and be pit side at my fight, and we'll get some we'll photos together, hang out after. I know we're planning on having a really big like IFC after party with me and Tony and Keith and like the whole crew. Like we're gonna do it really big in Utah, so you'll definitely be invited out to that. And anybody else who wants to get involved in the extracurriculars, the weigh-in event, the post-fight conference, make sure you hit me up. I'll get you all the info that you need for that.
Awesome, yeah. We'll have to be in the DMs on that one. I'm planning on going out, so I'm looking forward to seeing that event. I can't wait for it. When is the next Karate Combat event? September 18th.
I was gonna say, hey, we're looking ahead at an event. We have the Singapore event coming here on September the 18th,
yeah.
And we also have Crypto Fight Night. Keith Berry's fighting on Crypto Fight Night the night after that. So huge crypto fights this weekend for the entire industry at Token 2049. I would expect just an explosion of content creation around Web3 and really cool videos coming out in the crypto world from that side of the world, because it's supposed to be like the biggest Asian crypto event, and then they're doing huge fights there with all the crypto influencers. So they're getting them all in one room, and yeah, it should make history out over there. There's a lot of big fights. We're going to see the first female headliner for the IFC with Ashley Decan and the Blonde Broker. Yeah, it's going to be an epic fight, man.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Singapore event. I honestly missed. I got so used to it being every month. I know we talked about they're not going to have a Karate Combat event in August. That just passed. So I was definitely waiting for my next Karate Combat fix. So this is going to be one of the best events for sure. And I just believe that each one is just getting better and better.
Yeah, it's going to be like the matchmakers just keep getting closer and closer and closer. Like before, I was like, oh man, I get this 100% all the time, but now it's getting difficult, man. Like the matches are getting closer. Yeah. I'm used to putting my money on Shazade Rin, but now he's fighting the champion. It's a hard pick. I think it's going to be a little closer this time, and looking forward to this Karate Combat and the next. We got elbows coming in now too, yeah. So we don't know what's going to happen with the roster of fighters there. Some people might be out, some people might be in. I hear there's huge buzz around that. It was almost a 50-50 vote. So there's definitely controversy between the athletes. I think what happened, though, is the athletes kind of woke up to the importance of owning and voting on these tokens. Yeah. And some of them that didn't get their way or touted, they might think twice before selling their karate stash next time and have larger karate voting power. So I think that message got sent across to a lot of the athletes on this one around, and that's kind of... I've been hoping was going to start getting, spotlighted with the karate token, is that we get to govern the league. In fact, that was so close. Someone could buy, 200 million tokens, like put 100K into this, 200K into it, and then reissue that vote and pass it the other way for the next coming event. So we're gonna see all sorts of weird things with token governance of a league like this. So. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add to it. What do you think of that?
Yeah, for sure. Did you end up voting?
I voted yes, okay. But I was very on the fence. Yeah. I almost voted no, only because I thought that it would be more valuable to do this vote later on when there was more participation in the token. But looking at the metrics, there's 300,000 separate wallets on Hedera that are playing Karate Combat, so there's quite a good amount of participation there. A lot of the token holders are the fighters and are the staffers right now, so it was a good controversial event. It brought some attention to the governance of the token and participation in that side of things. It was such a close one. A lot of people came out and voted that normally don't vote on things. So Yeah, it's good overall. I voted yes because I can elbow very well. I love throwing elbows. I come from a Muay Thai background. We want to see who the best strikers, stand-up strikers are in the entire world. We should add the elbows. We might have some no contests or whatever, but I think that if we add the green chip no contest, almost like like a safety net bet. Like it's a 1 out of 50 fight, so you would get like 50 times your bet or something.
Yeah.
And you could put like 50 cents or something like that on a no contest. So you can either win this red corner, win blue corner, or you could pick no contest, and that no contest would be like, 50x win or something.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I did vote as well. I voted yes. I know some people were. I'm trying to remember who. I don't remember who. I think President Asim, right? He said no. Wasn't he the one that was saying no, or someone? He was. He's the one that proposed. Okay, someone that he was chatting with. I don't want to.
Sam Alvey.
Sam said no.
Sam said no.
Okay.
Said no. There was a few of the fighters that said that they didn't like the.
I think. Did you see H Bar Bull? I think he said that he said no as well. Maybe he was in the conversation at one point. I'm trying to remember, like him and Asim and a couple other people were saying different statistics. And as you're saying, there's only so many fights that are either stopped or affected in a major way by the elbows. So yeah, I voted yes. So I want to see.
With the pit wall, I think it's actually going to be really hard to throw elbows. I mean, there's always those the exchange, and now we actually have head pulling and kind of what resembles a clinch. That's legal as well. So we might see Muay Thai fighters come in and be a little more successful. However, I think karate fighters need to be a little more respectful of the clinch, learn how to clinch themselves, at least keep the distance and stay away from the weapon. And it should be legal. And I think we're going to see something new with the pit wall and elbows with spinning techniques, things like that are going to be really cool. So yeah, we're going to see the highest level strikers in the world throw bows on this event, guys.
Yeah, that's something that I always kind of looked out for. And then I didn't realize till recently that they actually didn't have elbows. So I'm just kind of covering on the live stream here just some of the latest Karate Combat graphics and videos here. But yeah, I'm excited for Singapore. I think if you're in the Hedera ecosystem, I'll keep saying this till pretty much everyone's engaged with it in some capacity. And I always say this, not financial advice, regardless if you're buying tokens. Postmaster, I know I've heard you in spaces say we want you buying the tokens. And yeah, ideally everyone's engaging in the ecosystem, voting on the fighters, that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, not financial advice. Go check out the token, of course. Not sponsor or anything like that. But when we have major use case like this on Hedera.
Speaking of sponsors and Karate Token, just want to give a quick shout out to Peculiar Peeps. Punchy's standing in Postmaster's corner, sent me almost 1 million Karate Token and is now a gold sponsor. Of course, my favorite token to receive, Karate Token. It's awesome. So I'm going to have a lot more power with voting and with earning up-only gaming rewards. And then, of course, you also have that utility of the seasonal leaderboard. It's giving you kickbacks, VIP experiences, tickets, flights. Let's go.
Yeah, brother, for sure. Well, shout out to the Peeps. I didn't know that they did that. Is that a recent sponsorship?
Yes, sir. Just announced it a few minutes ago.
Amazing. Well, you guys got some breaking news on that. Bullish on Peculiar. What was it? Punch, right?
The Peeps?
Yeah.
Punchy's the NFT with their little bird with the boxing gloves on.
Yeah,
the edition. So yeah, Karate has an open IP license agreement. They're using it. We're using it. So it's nice to start this collaboration off with them being in my corner for this fight, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about what we can do for each other because we're both NFT projects built on Hedera. So it's just kind of maybe a start to a good relationship there. We're both also building on the Karate IP, so it'll be great for us to cross promote, do our art together, and see what else we can do in Web3.
Awesome, brother. Well, I love to hear it. You love to see more and more community members coming together, supporting one another. And yeah, I mean, is there any other way that community members can come and support what you're doing here in a month, right? October 9th, literally a month from now.
Yeah. Just check out and start sharing our content around the Fighter-Bug Flawless NFTs. Of course, every purchase goes to help me, the fighters, and the Stickbug community. So pick up your sports collectible on September 17th on Suntex. If you guys have a NFT, you're in the top 300 Roddy Combat Up only gaming players, you will also receive a discount and early whitelist access. It's automatically applied, so you'll be able to just go on Centex and your wallet that you use, Crotty's whitelisted. That should be your Blade wallet. Also, if you guys don't have the Blade wallet connected to but you are in the top 300, make sure you give me a message. We'll make sure that you get whitelisted and get your discount.
Awesome, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming up. We are going to jump into some technical analysis before we get into more of the HBAR daily news here on my X account here. We're going to just kind of cover some of the latest news, what you guys might have missed over the last couple of days, maybe missed today as well, since our last show on Thursday. Postmaster, it's always a pleasure, brother. Appreciate you coming up here today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Also enjoy your rest day as well. You definitely need it. But we will see you very soon in the pit in about a month.
Yeah, brother. Ready to go.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you coming up. You're welcome to jump back in if you want at any point in the show. All right, you guys, we're going to jump into some technical analysis. So again, I don't really look at it too much until I check it every couple of days. If we're not doing shows like on the weekend, I'll just like check it once or twice. But and I have some notifications on too for CoinMarketCap, so I don't really need to be checking it all the time. I kind of just know the general price of various tokens, HBAR, Bitcoin, and ETH, and so on, right? So we have Bitcoin here. We had a dump over, I believe, the weekend. If you guys haven't learned, usually we have dumps closer to the weekend going into Monday, and we usually have pumps starting the week. So kind of get into the mindset of understanding the market in that way as well. Going into the weekend, you should be expecting dumps. That kind of happens pretty often. Just check it out. Bitcoin, funny enough, here, let's just look at the chart here. Why don't we? We are going to look at the 1 day here briefly. Currently sitting at 57,695. Let's see what we're cooking with here. Just waiting for Trading View to load. And if you guys are here in the spaces and you'd like to follow along here live, feel free to hit that link up in the Jumbotron. I'm going to be showing you guys some technical analysis, just some charting, showing you guys what I'm seeing here in the market. So Bitcoin, as I told you guys before, unless it breaks down below 53K, not very concerned at all about any of the price action. And even if I were to say I was concerned, it's more so we're not going to have the Pico top this next quarter. Excuse me. It'll be next summer. So let's see what's going on here. So as I said, over the weekend, right, Saturday, Sunday, we had the dips all the way down to 53. And then we did dip on Friday down to 52.8. But again, we didn't close any bodies. And this is just on the daily, right? We're not even on the monthly or the weekly. We haven't closed any bodies below this very significant level. Why is this so zoomed in? Hold on. It's like really zoomed in. There you go. Yeah. So, it's because the daily chart. That's why I never really cover the daily. As I always say, blue on top is bullish. We're actually in some bullish momentum right now on the daily. But again, we don't cover the daily. It's not that powerful. So let's look over here. Again, we're rejecting off this level. We just started this next candle. This candle did not close below 53K. It closed about like the 54 something thousand. So we're still in a strong level here as well, regardless of the chop. The weekly is bearish currently, but there's basically no more momentum left to the downside. So we're literally just keep bouncing off this bottom level at basically zero momentum. And if you guys are not familiar with how the markets work, basically the only place to go once you're at zero momentum down here is to go up, which means more momentum means more price action in a positive way. So keep that in mind. It basically can't get any worse on the weekly. But again, we don't really focus on the weekly because it's not as powerful as the monthly chart. So let's see what's cooking here on the monthly chart. Let's see, September, we're about 9 days in. This is forming another hammer, basically like this one, which is signaling yet again, another trend reversal, but it's too early in the month to really look at this candle and say, hey, this is going to go one way or another. You guys all know that this market can be extremely volatile. This month in July, went all the way down to 52K, went all the way up 72K. Like anything could happen at any point during the cycle, during the market. So again, stay level headed, be super patient on what's going on here. So RSI, let's cover the RSI first. We do mainly focus on the monthly candles. So let's see what's going on. So we're at 60, holding pretty strong here at the average. 60 is looking good on the monthly chart. As long as we're above 50, that means we're in a bull run. So that's looking good. Blue below is bearish. And until we actually have the cross up, I don't see us increasing in price action yet. And then, of course, the lower we go on the momentum. So we're currently at basically around that 50 level on the stochastic side. The lower we go, basically, the more momentum is lost, and the higher chance, the higher likelihood we do break down below 53K. And I've been saying if that happens, it'll be another 6 months or so, if not longer, depending on when we actually have that cross down. If we have a breakdown soon, that'll put us somewhere next month before we actually have the next cross up, which would ultimately, based on everything I've studied, that would lead to our next Pico top, which is when I would personally take most of my profits. Most of your tokens would be rallying going into the next summer. So I have to be super prudent, be super smart with my finances as well in terms of how we do these shows. And as I said, we're only going to do Monday and Wednesdays moving forward until I see a significant change. I think another 9 months or so of chop and maybe even downside. That's a lot. A lot of people are going to get shaken out. I don't have any plans on getting shaken out or leaving. But of course, we got to pivot and make some decisions here. So that very much could happen. Again, I know a lot of people are going to leave, but this period of time till next summer, if that's what ends up happening, would be the single best, not financial advice, single best opportunity in the entire bull run to make your entries, find when and where you should be, find the opportunities, find the leaders, find the alpha chats, that kind of stuff. You want to position yourself very well for these kinds of times. So it might be an opportunity. It might be a gift for a lot of you guys to really just lock in, find the opportunities where ahead of time. Because if you're trying to find the next token the same day that it's coming out or whatever, what have you, it's going to be really tough if you're not positioned for these times. And if you were here and you weren't really positioned during these times, you probably didn't make as much profit as you wanted to, or you just fumbled into every little thing that you saw on the timeline because you thought maybe you were late, and chances are you were, and you probably lost a bunch of money, which you don't want to see. I don't want to see you losing anything. If you're listening here, we do have an alpha chat. Shoot me a DM if you are interested, if you want to join us. We cover basically all the latest news and opportunities pretty much every day. And even if we do tone back the shows a little bit, doesn't mean the alpha chat is going to slow down or go anywhere either. We're going to continue to cover what is going on. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to have a cross in September for sure. At the rate the momentum is dropping, we're going to have to just continue to watch and see. And again, we all know that the market's super volatile. So at any point, if Bitcoin wants to shoot up to the high 70s, this blue will come so close up near the orange line, which will mean that the short-term momentum would overpower the long-term momentum, which would lead to a cross up above 73K. So again, just be super patient. Just understand where the market is heading, and I'm trying to share my knowledge and studies as much as possible with you guys over the last 4 years. And what I'm seeing, of course, it's not perfect. It's not 100% accurate. Anything could happen at any time, and just be prepared. But we have not, and we've held it very strong at this point, this 53K level, with all the candles especially, have not broken in any capacity. I'm still super bullish on the market, regardless if it's this coming quarter where we have the Pico top or next summer. Just got to understand that elections are going to play a big part. Regulations, that's another massive aspect of this market. Again, Kamala, I have no idea what she's talking about with regulations, if she's going to be doing it or what. I imagine it'll still come regardless somewhere. Trump has openly said, again, I'm not talking biased or saying who to vote for, any of that stuff. If you're in the U.S., Trump has openly stated it within the first 100 days, if he is the president, uh, that he wants to have regulations locked in. So that would be a massive catalyst and shift for our ecosystem. That would be basically January, February, March in that time frame of 2025, which would lead, if that would be bullish for our ecosystem, that would actually lead to the bull run, the Pico top in the next few months after that. So I could very much see that happening as well. I can't imagine more positive news higher than positive regulations from a president that would be pro crypto. I think that would probably be the top. I've been saying that that would most likely be the top as well. You just got to understand just how the cycle works, how the macro affects it, what kind of major catalysts would affect the market. The main reason I'm touching on Bitcoin instead of Hedera right now is because, not that Hedera price action doesn't matter, it sure does. But if until Bitcoin is actually very bullish, I don't think we're going to get crazy price action unless we have governing council members going out of their way to buy HBAR tokens or massive use cases, funding themselves, whatever. It has to be a major shift, which we haven't really seen just yet, and that would be its own decoupling event, if you will, for our ecosystem again, which we have not seen just yet, but we would love to see that. And I'm still looking forward to the day where that does change, because that would be a massive game changer for our ecosystem. So that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. We're just kind of consolidating at this level right here. It is bull flagging as well, but we are losing momentum. So we just got to just kind of watch and see. And basically, whatever's happening in Bitcoin is pretty much going to happen in most of your altcoins and most of your DeFi tokens as well, unless they decide to have their own pump via the community for whatever reason. So let's look at the fear and greed index, and then we're going to look at some Hedera technical analysis, and then we'll get into some of the daily news as well. Don't forget to like and retweet the show here today if you're finding any of our news of value here today, if you find the show valuable to you. All right, crypto fear and greed index, we've been very low. I mean, oh my gosh, we actually went over the weekend when we dumped 253, which again, we haven't been breaking it. 3 days ago on Friday, we actually hit 25.88. I don't even think I've ever seen it at 25 point below 30. So basically, if you were still here since last Friday and you didn't get shaken out, or you haven't capitulated or left, or what have you, like, you're one of the few people that are actually still bullish and basically not capitulating, essentially. So yeah, 25. I mean, that's rough. That's you can see the overall sentiment. You can see the kind of content posts a lot of people are making and getting shaken out. And basically, if you're not hardwiring your brain to do the opposite of what basically the general public is going to be doing, most people making posts or content speaking negatively, like, it's easy to speak negatively right here during these times. But if you can actually be the voice that cares about people's profits, again, not financial advice, but basically doing the opposite of what most people are going to end up doing when the sentiment is the absolute worst. These are the most incredible buying opportunities historically, just based on the charts alone, just based on sentiment as well. So if you bought anywhere in July, September of last year, you're up a lot, especially when the market rallied recently in January through April. And if you basically buy down here, people are going to be like, oh, well, I should have bought in again, July through September, which is historically the worst months in the year for any investments, really. It's literally a repeat. Like, I can't even make this stuff up. And what did I say? Going into next summer, right? The regulations would be about here a year later, over here on this end, right? And if this plays out the way I'm expecting it, this is literally what the chart's going to start looking like next year. So it's like, it's just repeating. Like, how many times can people repeat themselves until you basically learn? So again, July through September was basically the worst months last year. Currently, that's what's happening, and we're at the same levels in the 20s to 30s to 40 level in sentiment. So again, understanding that the moment that you decide to do the opposite of what most people are going to be doing, that's when you will, and that's when I have made the most profits. And guess what? When you're up here at the extreme greed levels, 90s, high 80s, 100 level, this is when you should be actually taking profits, taking some off the table, maybe readjusting, maybe modifying your portfolio a little bit. And if you're not doing that, right, you have the max euphoria here, everything is pumping, you're looking for that next 10x, whatever it is that you're looking for. but you should be taking profits at these levels, and everything in you only wants to keep throwing it at the next opportunity. And this is the time where you should just kind of humble yourself, right? And be a little bit fearful. This is when you actually should be fearful, and this is when you should be greedy down here. Essentially, you should be scared when everything's going crazy, and just take profits as much as you can at these points. So I do expect sooner than later we'll jump back up into these levels. And as I keep saying, until we actually have a cross up, which I said before, in September, October, we'll have a cross, and if we don't, then we'll just end up losing a ton of momentum and dropping below 53K, and that'll most likely be either this month or next month. So we have to just kind of keep watching and seeing 30 to 60 days or less till we see that event happen, and just keep watching and seeing what happens. And if we look at last year, October was actually when we switched up. Going into the end of the year, November and December, we got super bullish here. So I don't know if exactly it's going to line up. That would be kind of insane to actually watch month over month, year to year line up exactly. I think this chart will look a little bit later for 2025. That's what I'm seeing, at least in the charts, and respecting the stochastic RSI, how long it actually takes in terms of every 6 to 9 months. So if we do have a cross anytime soon, it's very possible if it crosses down, we have like another 9 months of chop consolidation, maybe even downward pressure before we actually become bullish and put in the next top, which I know a lot of people don't want to hear this or get shaken out. But I did say 78K might be the top, at least locally, for this cycle. If it's higher than that for Bitcoin, that'd be great. I think a lot of our altcoins, once we actually enter alt season, which we have not entered altcoin season yet. So for those of you guys getting shaken out or getting upset about price action, we haven't actually had an official altcoin season where tokens are dominating over Bitcoin. We haven't had that yet. So for those of you guys waiting out for your 10x, 50x, whatever it is for your tokens, DeFi, NFTs, that part of the cycle actually hasn't happened yet because Bitcoin hasn't even actually put in its top fully yet. So that's very important to know. And every single cycle so far has had an altcoin season. And some of you guys might think, oh, well, the altcoin season was back in earlier this year, January through March or April, and you thought that was a ton of tokens did a 5, 10, 20x or whatever, but that actually is only a taste of what an altcoin season actually would do to the market. We only saw certain tokens as well pump a lot. Even if HBAR did went from like 3 to 4 cents at the bottom all the way to 20 cents briefly, you would see more of that. And we didn't see a lot of that for most tokens. A lot of tokens actually underperformed Bitcoin. I know a lot of people talk poorly about HBAR and say that it's being way outperformed by Bitcoin, that kind of stuff. But let's be real. Most tokens are. And if you go look at the yearly chart, let me actually go look at it really quick. I went and looked at it because, again, a lot of people just are just either I don't want to use the word just like ignorant, but like they don't look at enough information to quantify. Like they don't quantify enough data to actually formulate a good enough hypothesis on what's happening. And yeah, I mean, Hedera's not. When you look at the 1 year chart, and they're like, oh, Hedera's down, I don't know, 10% or 5%, whatever it was. When I last looked at it, let me look at it right now. Let's see what it looks like, and we'll look at the chart as well. Give me 1 second. Also, it looks like some more HBARs were put into the circulating supply. I think someone said 4 billion, 2 billion, something like that. We're up to almost 74% fully out there, which I personally enjoy. I want to see more of the tokens out there. All right, what are we at percentage wise? Yeah, actually, we're a little bit up. We're slightly up on the 1 year. So for all the people saying, oh, Hedera's down whatever percent, don't listen to them. It's not even true. Hedera's slightly up on the 1 year. Now, obviously, if you compare it to like a Solana or something, obviously that's a little bit different. Quite different actually, but everyone could basically try to compare to Solana and be upset. Most of your other major layer 1 tokens are either down like a lot on the 1 year or they're barely up, just like Hedera. So again, there hasn't really been a major shift in the market outside of maybe Solana and a couple other tokens that I could probably just kind of name on the off chance that did well so far. But again, we have not had that bull run just yet for altcoins. So let's see. I'm just going to jump straight to the 1 month here for Hedera so I can show you guys what's going on here on the token. So in terms of momentum, we're continuing to trend to zero. which is actually a good thing. When the market gets super hot, you want to be as close to zero on the momentum, and you want the price to be as high as possible. So if we're almost at basically no momentum and H bar is at 5 cents, okay, how high is it actually going to get when we actually are at the top peaks of momentum? That's extremely important. You can apply this to pretty much any token. We're just, of course, covering Hedera today. And of course, historically, we got to be above 50 to be in a bull run, which I don't think we'll get up above 50. We're at 42 right now for Hedera on the monthly. We're not going to get up there until we actually have a Bitcoin cross, and arguably until altcoin season actually happens, which, of course, until it happens, I'll be covering exactly where I see the market heading. It feels markets are like this. It feels like, you know what, or this coming quarter, things are not going to change. It's going to be super bearish. A lot of people are just going to check out. We're not going to do any more shows, whatever, right? Like that's how it feels because September is always the worst. I told you guys September is going to be horrendous, but we can only be down here for so long before things shift in a major way. So basically, if you were out of the market for the past few years and you just don't even know what's going on, these are the times you want to re-enter the market when momentum is basically at nothing and prices are up. This is the perfect time to be buying if you choose to do the opposite of what everyone else is trying to do. Most people are trying to sell, take profits at these points because they're scared that it'll go lower. But guess what? Momentum's not there to go much lower, anyways. So study the charts, try to understand what's going on. And at a moment's notice, a lot of this can change. Again, none of this is financial advice. Just trying to use this to educate as many people as possible. You guys can absolutely kill it this cycle going into alt season. I personally don't hold any Bitcoin. So anyone listening, actually, no, that's not true. I do hold some Bitcoin, but it's mainly in runes. The DeFi protocol over there. I think that ecosystem will probably do well, and I'm just making a bet. There's nothing logical or financial seriously over there. I mean, yeah, if runes does well, then great. If it doesn't, then whatever. I'm gonna convert it back into H bars anyway at some point in the future once it does well, if it performs well. But I can only imagine Bitcoin DeFi doing well. Hedera DeFi is basically, I don't want to say non-existent, but if we're at like 40, let me refresh Saucer Swap liquidity really quick. H Suite as well. When I say non-existent, in comparison to a chain like what a lot of people will compare it to, like a Solana or some other major chains, it is very. It's a stark contrast. We're at 43 million TVL on Saucer Swap. I think we're at like 2 million. Let me refresh it really quick to give you guys an updated one for H Suite as well. But let's just round it. I mean, we have 2.42 million for H Suite. I mean, that's, and whatever HeliSwap and Pangolin has, probably like around 1 million a piece or less. Last I checked, that's about 50 million. Like 50 million at in terms of TVL is quite low for the ecosystem. To be able to see that 100 million, a billion, right? Solana's at a couple billion, I believe. It's a massive shift that would absolutely rip this ecosystem if we do break, as we did. We broke into the top 20 not that long ago, right? April. What is April? Like the 5th month? Yeah, April, May, June. No, the 4th month. April and May, we're at 19. We're in the top 19 of cryptos, and our market cap for TVL was like, or not the market cap, the TVL was like 100, and I think we reached like 150 million or something. And I don't think that that's anything to joke about. Like that is something that was a pretty significant milestone for our ecosystem, and to be able to 3x, 5x that would put us up there with some of the bigger players, up near a billion, and that would absolutely send pretty much any token in our ecosystem. So for me to say that I'm not bullish on what's going on in this ecosystem, that could not be further from the truth. Our dexes, meme coins, tokens, our builders here, I mean, it's absolutely in a position, especially if you're doubling down, tripling down at these points. Even if it is another 9 months or however long, a year, whatever it is, these are the moments that people are going to remember. Obviously, we're going to get a lot new market participants when things start trending, are going crazy. But for me personally, these are the moments where I'm watching everyone in the ecosystem, seeing who's showing up every day, who's showing up, who's supporting one another. who's continuing to build, who's continuing to push the network, push the ecosystem forward. I do think we have a lot more power, a lot more impact than a lot of people realize here in the space. I think we've made some big moves as a community, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. So if you're bullish on that, if you're bullish on our community, feel free to like and retweet. It is the best way to support our show. Shout out to everyone in the live stream. Shout out to all of you amazing people here in the spaces as well. Postmaster graciously will be giving away one of the Stickbug flagship NFTs in celebration of their upcoming mint. And of course, our episode here today as well. So all you gotta do to enter, like and retweet the show here today. I'll do a Twitter picker at the end of the show once for the giveaway. So let's get into some of the daily alpha before we wrap up the show here. Again, don't forget to like and retweet the show. Only LARPing said crypto won't go mainstream. In a joking way, I showed you guys the video earlier when Postmaster was chatting. Karate Combat's absolutely killing it. If you guys aren't supporting Karate Combat or checking out what they're doing, I do believe you're missing out on a major aspect of this space. So again, go check out what they're doing. Karate Combat's absolutely doing the most over there. Saucer Swap, they have a development update. I'm not going to cover all of it, but their team will be joining Token 2049. So if you're going to be there in Singapore, go engage with their team. I'm not going to cover all of it, but go check out Saucer Swap. If you're not following Saucer Swap already as well, it's at Saucer Swap Labs. It is the leading DEX on Hedera, not sponsored, just letting you guys know what is going on here. Bonzo Finance, I know they had an update with Super Labs. That's why they delayed the mainnet launch. So Bonzo Finance, I did not, and this is just for me personally, because I'm still learning and understanding how the ecosystem is growing and working. Lending and borrowing is actually a massive aspect of DeFi for any ecosystem. I did not realize that we didn't have that for forever, essentially. So being able to unlock more and more of that, H liquidity, serial finance as well. These are all aspects and platforms of the ecosystem that are basically coming to mainnet now as well. We need to see that essentially before we get full on into a bull run. And so that's very much important to see. And I think it's just in time. And of course, we need more marketing. And then we talked about Thrive Hedera, and I have some stuff in the works that I do want to share that I've been cooking in the background that I think being able to shift, maybe do a little bit less shows, a little bit fewer, less shows. And if you guys are just joining in, we're going to mainly focus on our shows Mondays and Wednesdays moving forward. I still want to do interviews and all that kind of stuff, but I got to coordinate with each individual person on that. I think we'll still do the interviews on Thursdays mainly, but I want to accommodate people as well. So gotta figure out how to coordinate that with everyone, because we got quite a few interviews in the works lined up, and I want to make sure to give everyone appropriate time and of course exposure. Like I said, I don't want to do an interview on a day that the market's just absolutely down bad. I want to make, because a lot of people are gone, I want to make sure that you guys are able to get as much exposure. Our last interviews get about 300 to 500 views, which is great. I want to see you guys get as much exposure as possible, and I'm doing that as much as possible for you guys here in the ecosystem. So again, Bonzo Finance mainnet launch is coming very soon. They had a delay with, I think, the Oracle or something. I forget the exact reason, but you love to see Bonzo succeeding. You want to see them continuing to grow here. So it's great to have them coming up very soon for the mainnet. Jack, he wrote a whole thread. I'm not going to cover it here, but you guys can go check out his account. 24 of the latest Hedera happenings. I'm just going to skim it very fast. You guys can actually see what's going on here. Manu, the founder of Kabila, he wrote a really great thread over the weekend. I think it was last Thursday or Friday. Definitely go check that one out as well. I think he did a great job. It was a very long thread. That's why I always enjoy long threads. So you guys can actually see what's going on. Go check that one out. Bunch of new jobs. As I said, I'm not going to cover all of them, but you guys can see there's a lot of alpha. Oh, the direct community call was last week as well. We haven't touched on that at all. I don't know if there's a lot to cover, to be honest. Not to be like negative or anything, but I felt like there wasn't a lot covered in the direct call. I'm just being honest. I listened to the whole thing when I was at the gym. Um, I don't know. They were talking about Cardano coming on board, and I think Hedera coming on board, but I thought Lehman's the founder of it all, so I don't really understand how Hedera's barely coming on board or what that really means. It just kind of felt like, hey, like we're here, we're talking. They were really talking about how they want to see more layer ones, more other tokens, and even if you're not in crypto, get involved. So that's really interesting as well. It definitely wasn't like a Hedera, Hashgraph, swirls, any of that kind of stuff. It wasn't really focused on any of that stuff, which is fine. But a lot of people are like, hey, why is this the focus and not like marketing Hedera or something? So I don't really have an answer for that, but it was. It's great to see a lot of the people that were speaking. Obviously, it's great to see Lehman, Charles Atkins, our president of Hedera. It's great to have see him on the call as well. But for me personally, I feel like not a lot was actually discussed outside of just saying, hey, like this is what DREC is, and we want more people to get involved and just kind of talk about how developers just kind of make or break what is going on in the network as well. We want to see them get support and be incentivized as well to understand how to get involved with DREC in particular. So they're basically saying, hey, we have a lot of open source stuff, get involved with us essentially. And yeah, I mean, just go from there. And I think it's a great initiative. Like I'm super bullish on everything that's going on with it. I just don't know if I would say for like the hour and a half that was being talked about, I don't really think like a ton was talked about. But also it is DREC, right? Like, what are you going to talk about outside of, hey, like we're securing wallets? They talked a little bit about some anecdotes with some wallets that they've lost, that kind of stuff as well. So if you guys didn't listen to it already, feel free to go back and listen to it if you missed it as well. The Hello Future Hackathon with Angel Hack has concluded as of a few weeks ago, and it looks like the judges are now judging. So you can kind of just see some of the judges here as well. Looks like Hashport and Hitachi, one of our governing council members, are actually partnering up to launch a secure Web3 social wallet in Japan. So that's very fascinating. You want to see more and more governing council members engaging with the ecosystem here. So that's something massive. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I would assume. I know Hashport's more of a cross-chain thing. It's not necessarily a Hedera thing. Um, Trying to see if there's anything Hedera related. Oh, okay, it says built on Hedera. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I mean, that's great. You want to see more governing council members absolutely getting involved, and that's what we've been asking for as well. All right. What is this? AI conference. Stop by the booth. So Hedera is going to be at the AI conference here coming up on September. So tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. You want to see Hedera at more of these events. Christian Hasker. Well, we're going to start wrapping up the show here. Christian Hasker. I think Karate Combat's a missing opportunity to engage fans between bouts. I agree with this. This is something I've been thinking about as well. I don't know how to change it, but I think he has a great point on here, and I think the HBAR community should take note of this. Christian Hasker, shout out to him. We could vote on best clips, knockout, funniest highlights, memes, etc. The app experience is so seamless and fun to use. I'd love to be able to use it more often. That's something I completely agree with. And again, Karate Combat's very much underrated, still very much underappreciated. I still don't see everyone at Hedera getting on board or talking about it just yet. I do believe that time will come very, very soon, though. I think it's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot less cool to not be involved in Karate Combat than it is to be involved. Let's just say that. But definitely an opportunity to engage fans between bouts is going to be one of the best ways, I do believe, to drive the next set of engagement for the next events as well. So that's very important. And you love to see it. You love to see what Karate Combat is doing as well. Hedera for developers. If you're a developer here, it's time to upgrade to the newer version of the SDK before November 11th, which is in about 2 months from now. So you do want to be updating the mirror node endpoints as well. They're going to be depreciated there. Diffuse Labs, we got to get them on the show here soon as well. They are in full testnet mode. So if you haven't checked out their platform, launchpad.diffuselabs.com. If you want to go test the platform, looks like you can go check out what they are doing as well. Shout out to them. and what they're doing. We need more tokens. Looks like tokens tool suite, token launchpad, token snapshot, and liquidity locker. So it kind of reminds me of Da Vinci Graph, if you guys are familiar with that platform as well. Again, Hello Future Hackathon is in the judging period, exploring Hashgraph Trailblazers. So go check out the diverse group. And it looks like some of the governing council members are involved with that. So basically, seeing more and more governing council members engaging is a massive win for our ecosystem. Now we just got to see them buying the tokens, which we don't know for sure if they're not, but we do want to see them buying the tokens. Postmaster, are you still there, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just pounding some steak.
No, you're good, brother. Awesome. All right. If you guys are on the live stream, you're going to be able to see the flawless Spiderbug NFT series. I'm just going to kind of skim this video here, get an exclusive look at the unique collection featuring karate combat fighters with evolving stats and living art. I honestly think that's one of the coolest aspects of this NFT. Personally, I will be picking some up very soon once the mint goes live here in basically going up into the Singapore event. But evolving stats and living art, I think that's one of the coolest aspects of the NFT personally. Postmaster, I know you're eating, so you definitely don't have to jump in if you don't want to. But you're welcome to touch on the NFTs again if you want to briefly before I do a couple more posts, and then we'll wrap up the show here.
Absolutely love that NFTs are kind of back in almost every conversation. Dynamic NFTs are the new tip of the tongue thing, and we've got a fully built out dynamic NFT on the best tech, which is Hedera. So we're going to showcase what dynamic NFTs can do utilizing the Karate Combat superfans. I'm sure everybody is going to absolutely love these NFTs because they far exceed the quality and what everybody else are used to with NFTs. So yeah, we've gone all out. We've worked with some of the top guys in the Hedera ecosystem to make this project flawless and live up to its name. And we're really excited to be working with the fighters and helping their careers. And yeah, just updating everything that we're doing and fully automating it all is our number one goal right now. And yeah, if you guys are out there listening, yeah, just help us share it out there. And if you, like I said, if you guys want early access, make sure you got your Stickbug flagship NFTs. You can get that on Centex or be one of the Up Only Gaming Season 1 top 300s.
Let's go. Postmaster, appreciate you once again. And yeah, I can't wait for these NFTs. I can't wait to see which one I actually end up with. Hopefully I get one of the rares. Are any of the rares in the mints or will they be
Your chance is 2% to get a rare.
Wow. Okay. Dang. Okay. Well, hopefully I get one. If not, then I'll have to be picking some up off secondary. There's only one, correct, of each fighter?
There's going to be 5 of each fighter. One of them are going to be auctioned by the fighter themselves live on a show.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you guys heard it here. Yeah. Well, one of the 5 I think is still great. And then you said 5 rares per fighter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
One's going to be doing like giveaway for promotion. 3 of them are going to be airdrop. So not airdrop. It's going to be minted at random.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, that's incredible. Which personally, and if you don't want to answer, that's totally fine too. I know we're not trying to play favorites or anything like that, but of the current batch of fighters, if you could choose a rare that you would get super lucky on to pick up, which one is the rare that you're most looking forward to?
I'm a super fan, so yeah. I would hope to mint Owen Shimaya or Ross Levine.
Yeah.
Ross Levine is always going to be a rookie card. Ross Levine, even though he was champion, he's retired now, so there'll be no stat updates or anything like that on Ross. But we will keep up with his socials and anything he's doing afterwards. If he wants to still be involved with X Spaces and crypto and things like that, but. Yeah, those 2 I think would be my favorite as a super fan. However, I think that the BitPlay card is going to auction for the highest.
Wow. Okay. Well, you guys heard it here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to these cards, man. I just love being a collector myself. Whenever I'll just be blunt here as well. I don't really buy a lot of NFTs. I do have some that I still keep, but they're all in my vaulted wallet. I don't trade them at all. If I do buy an NFT to trade, it wasn't for the art or anything like that. It was really just to flip. But I try not to do that because I just don't really like doing that. I want to be able to support creators, platforms, founders, that kind of stuff. And I just love collecting. So if I like your art or if I like whatever it is that you're doing, if I want to collect something, I'm just going to collect it and hold on to it. I think it's fun. And yeah, maybe it might appreciate in value, but just to be able to have the experience and to support, I think that's really important. I think we lack a lot of that in this space. A lot of people just want to flip stuff and get out, which is fine. I mean, you got to make your bag and do your thing too. But there's a lot of underappreciation for the effort and the work that gets put into a lot of NFTs. I mean, a lot of people think NFTs and they're like, oh, CryptoPunks or Bored Apes or whatever random rug or whatever it is, but there's a lot of work that goes into a lot of these projects or brands nowadays. And I've had for a long time a very negative view on NFTs. That's why I mainly flipped them. I never really bought in. I created my own, and I'm an artist, so a lot of my work is just mainly art. And I try my best to provide extra alpha and value in my alpha chats or what have you. But there's a lot. Like I've spent months, years on various collections and just art in general in this space. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to be able to see other platforms and brands and creators like Postmaster and so on put in very similar amounts of effort and dedication, just a ton of time. It's a lot of time and effort and creativity as well. I only hope for the best. I want to see you guys succeed, and I hope that the fighters that are involved as well, they get involved and they're pushing it and excited, just as excited as you guys are as well.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, it seems like everything is coming together, and we have a lot of interest from the KOLs and karate staffers, which I think is very important. Like guys like Loudmouth and Robin Black, and President Asim is even sharing out our posts and stuff, and he's excited that we're helping the fighters. And so yeah, it's been going really, really, really well. And the Hedera community I wouldn't want to run this anywhere else. You guys are just the most knowledgeable and biggest karate fans. I mean, karate's built here in Hedera, and I think like our next big step, obviously after the big win in Utah, is going to be trying to get our NFTs in the actual karate app.
Yeah.
That's going to be a catalyst to what we're building.
Yeah, that would be absolutely insane and one of the biggest pushes. And I've been saying this for a while now, and until people kind of wake up and see it, I don't think a lot's going to change too much yet, aside from the uptrend of new karate combat voters, right? People getting involved. I do believe there will be a day sooner than later, either by the end of this year or going into next year at some point, where we do have 1 million wallets concurrent voting in the platform, getting involved, engaged, and seeing NFTs like this, the token and so on. Like you're just so incredibly early, and I still believe, regardless of price action or current market caps, whatever, there's just a level of undervaluedness that's happening here. Just even if it's just purely on exposure, there's a very much undervalued level of just what is yet to come in this space. I mean, I can't really overestimate how undervalued, underexposed everything regarding to karate combat really is. Postmaster, what do you think, brother?
I'm trying to do whatever I can to stack my karate combat tokens. I hear the next year's reward for season 2 is going to be like transferable tickets and things like that. And once we establish that karate combat is the best striking league in the world and the best for the fans, those tickets are not going to be $200 for VIP seats. Are going to be $2,000+ so you guys gotta, if you're really thinking ahead and looking at what karate's building, doing, you've already seen it and you're already accumulating. I know there's people in the audience listening that are already accumulating karate at all costs because they see the utility, the governance, the kickbacks, and just how much fun it can be to stack karate tokens. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on karate. I think it's probably one of the best, if not the best, projects on Hedera, and it's going to bring us to the moon.
Awesome, brother. Well, appreciate you once again coming up and sharing more alpha. And yeah, we love to talk about karate combat, regardless of, again, price action, market cap, liquidity, what have you. It is a massive use case on Hedera. Yeah, I mean, this is something that we have to be able to be championing and pushing, because if we don't, when we do have other use cases that are massive like this in Hedera, and we talk about other platforms so on here in Hedera, but some of the biggest platforms, if we're not championing it and talking about it often enough, what's going to happen when we have the next one and we don't talk about it enough, right? I'm not saying Karate Combat's leaving Hedera or anything like that. They're built on Hedera, so I don't even think they can. But just the idea of Karate Combat not being on Hedera, it would be a massive blow to the ecosystem, and I think a lot of people just kind of underestimate that. But there's other massive catalysts and use case on Hedera either coming or already here to be bullish on already. So, but Karate Combat again, super bullish, super excited to see what they continue to doing here in the ecosystem. Our HR Foundation, again, talked about judges for the hackathon, Google Aberdeen, Australian Payments Plus, ServiceNow, and WorldPay. WorldPay Global will be governing council member judges in the hackathon. So, again, governing council members getting more involved with the ecosystem, that is a massive, massive win for our ecosystem. I can't understate that specifically, and people are asking more and more for the governing council to get involved, and this is exactly what we need to see. This is what we're looking for, specifically. Trade Games app looks like they their next trading simulated trading tournament is going to start. It looks like it started now already, so go check it out. TradeGames.app. They're a crypto destination for gaming fun. Their platform beta version is live. And I believe there's 10,000 H bars. Yeah, 10,000 H bar prize in the pool. So go check out their platform as well. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I won't touch on this too much, Jack. Shout out to you, brother. Here's an idea that might be worth funding. HBAR Foundation, X Spaces program for Hedera awareness. X Spaces, extremely valuable tool for spreading awareness. I'm not going to cover all of it because it's quite in depth, but anyone from Hedera, Hashgraph, the foundation, so on. In terms of this, I Thrive. I think it's been out for almost a month now, like 3 to 4 months now. Basically, I'm in the Discord. I know Adrian's over there as well from Kabila, just kind of talking about how there's specific reasons why the Wallet Connect hasn't gone through yet for it, for people to just kind of get it. I know they have the Typeform up, but I haven't heard anything yet. I think it would be really nice to have the current Spaces leaders, the people that have just been hosting Spaces for quite some time now, that at least meet the requirements that they're asking for. I think there's some very specific ones. So I think they're fine for the most part. Yeah, I mean that they should be able to get the badge regardless if they apply. I guess I think there's not that many of us even in the space for it to be that difficult. I get that maybe being out of I don't want to say out of touch. Maybe that's a little bit too harsh, but just not really having a pulse on retail. I'm not necessarily expecting 100% having a pulse from the foundation, but they do have Grolf, Jake, right, Warlock. If you're listening, brother, I mean, this is if we really want to see Thrive, basically make an impact, be something super positive, at least on the Spaces side, right? I have seen some people start writing some content, which is great. I mean, I love to see it. You want to see people creating content. But in terms of Spaces, I think this is where you actually see a lot of the engagement, where people are actually helping to market the ecosystem as well from this. And we want to see more people hosting Spaces and creating content here. And I think it's a massively untapped and underutilized aspect of the space. So if we can change that in any capacity, which part of what I'm looking to work on and kind of working on the background is something in relation to this. So if you're interested in that, shoot me a DM after the show if you want to learn more. But something that I want to see shift, and Jack's talking about it. A bunch of other space hosts are talking about this now. This could be a massive win for our ecosystem. Problem: X-Space are currently underestimated, underused within the Hedera community. The opportunity cost is real. Yeah, I mean, connecting hosts, promoting Spaces, incentives and rewards, that kind of stuff. I mean, we would see, I do believe we will see a lot more people jumping on board in the ecosystem for sure. And we can see Spaces on other chains, depending on the day, of course, and what's going on. I mean, we see very interesting numbers across the board for sure, but I think we could see a lot more here in Hedera for sure. So definitely an aspect that could be shifted here. Let me see. Actually, a couple people were commenting on the post. I commented as well. I don't think that was a response though. H Rebel said, I think a high bar for viewership to get funding, to get teams to work together, to get that funding, the scale up support from there. I don't fully understand what that means. I know a bunch of people were liking, but I just asked what would a high bar for viewership look like? And then teams working together. I mean, there's a lot of solo groups in Hedera. A lot of people are just kind of doing their own shows or their own spaces, including myself. And then what would reasonable funding look like and scalable support? So I have no idea the answer to any of this stuff, what he thinks. I think Thrive isn't attempting to this, but one submission every 3 months is kind of like a joke in terms of like if people are going to seriously submit for interviews, that kind of stuff. If you're a spaces host, but in the Discord they did say they could modify it, but I mean if it's going to take like a month or more to just get wallet support, regardless of the reason, how long is it going to take to even make any change? I don't want to just assume the worst or be too negative about it. But yeah, I mean, Web3 moves so fast, and if it takes months to really do anything, like it's just going to be a massive opportunity, just absolutely lost personally. Yeah, and then of course I'll wrap up the show here. More USD on Hedera is very much needed. I made a post earlier this morning. Currently has 8.9 million USD. That's pretty much nothing in relation to most other big chains. So we do need to see that. I don't know how to change that. Is that something the HBAR Foundation once again needs to do or what have you? I'm not sure fully, but let's see. Okay, so I guess it has to do more with lending and borrowing too. So again, Bonzo, Serial, H liquidity, and so on. That's basically our next phase for Hedera, which would mean, so he says 100% agree. Coinbase round for USDC HBAR, probably the best, most important Hedera infrastructure play that HBAR Foundation can help with, will help with all DEXs, TVL off and on ramps, and provide much needed liquidity. I haven't seen that response. So yeah, I mean, HBAR Foundation is listening. Yes, I mean, this is something that's a need for our ecosystem and will provide a lot more liquidity. A lot more liquidity. It's just a massive win for our ecosystem. Yeah, so basically a lot more momentum is needed in the ecosystem, marketing and so on. But we're basically, let me pull back up here. We're basically at the lowest levels of sentiment, the lowest level on the RSI, that we basically can't go much lower. Sure, we could stay pretty much at zero and drop in price action. That could totally happen. Don't get me wrong. When I say we're at the lowest points, doesn't mean it can't go lower. But we're definitely nowhere near a top in terms of price action. So for those of you guys selling or getting shaken out or getting scared of the market, again, we haven't even broken through 53K to the downside at all. It wants to, it's trying to, but it's holding strong. And guess what? Every time it doesn't break through, the stronger that it actually gets. So this market can completely surprise us and move so fast in October and November to the upside. It wouldn't even be funny. Like that could totally happen. That's still on the table. I haven't seen that get invalidated yet. And we could get up to the 70s, 80s, 90,000 in Bitcoin, and alt season could get triggered by the end of the year or the beginning of next year. That totally could happen. Is it going to happen? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see and be super patient with that. But as always, absolute pleasure hosting the shows here. It's almost been a year now, and we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to level up, continue to educate as much as possible here, and continue to win. I want to see you guys absolutely winning and killing it in the ecosystem. Shout out to Postmaster, Potter Always Wins, Floxbard, Hots, D-Man, Ciano, a real one, and all of you amazing people here on the live stream as well. Don't forget to like and retweet the show. It is the best way to support us. And of course, we are giving away a Stickbug flagship NFT. All you got to do is like and retweet the show to be entered. And as always, our shows are recorded live here. So if you missed any of the alpha here today, feel free to go back and listen live to our show. All right, you guys, well, I'll catch you all on Wednesday, 5 p.m. EST. Place to be in Web3 here at the Web4 Roundtable. Appreciate everyone tuning in to episode 250, and I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your Monday, y'all. Peace.